bank.
So
Join.
two of the farmers are like, that sounds like science. And the other one's like, yep, he did say it was a fact. Scientists do say stuff like that.
And I'll give the stage back to Petey.
All right, guys, we got to find more people.
I think
Phil
we
has
lost Jim.
discovered the perfect.
No, he's restarting.
Okay.
Philkin has discovered the perfect vehicle for his. This is gonna be a partnership. Mutually beneficial. Fantastic. Petey, I had no idea. This is you really hide your. What do they call that? It's a word I very rarely. Modesty. Yes, you're very modest. I had no idea.
You hide your modesty well.
Oh, did I use it wrong? I'm not very familiar with the word. Maybe I used it backwards, but you are awesome, and yet when I look at you, I can't tell. I think that's I'm told that's a good trait that people admire. I didn't know you were awesome, but now I do.
That's what they say. Good things come in small packages.
Hey, hell yeah. Or is it hells yeah? I don't know. I don't know how many hells there are in Hub.
I think there's at least 9.
No, there's only one.
Oh, okay.
You die and you go immediately to hell. That's how it works here.
Oh, we don't get to collect 200 gold?
No,
Man.
man claims your soul and tortures you for eternity.
Does anyone have an idea where we're supposed? Are we just gonna go like bar hopping? Because I don't have a problem with that.
I have an idea for a lead.
Yes, indeed.
There is an individual who is currently in jail that I think we could help free, who would help us recruit a lot of people. We can parade him around and show him this is what happens when you stand against the Empire.
But we don't want to convince people to be scared of the Empire. We want them to fight for the Empire.
Yes, we can show his crimes and what he did and why he's scum.
What does that have to do with fighting for the Empire?
To catch bad guys like this. They can put a face to the enemy.
Is he a kobold?
That's my thought.
Is he?
Nope, he's a human.
No. Okay.
I mean, if we had a kobold, that would make sense. I mean, they're going to go fight kobold, I thought.
Well, that was one job. I'm sure the city needs more than just that.
That's true. That's true.
But the job we've been hired for is to promote Petey.
What did this human do to get put in jail? Because jail is pretty awful. Gnomes and humans, even humans should run free in the wild with their.
Listen, this
No, not
racism. Even humans should be able to run free. I'm a gnome. I'm so superior, bitch.
I wouldn't say superior. Just I'm more in tune with nature and therefore the universe as opposed to these mud hut dwellers.
Falcon! Now that's just rude. What have I done to as a mere human? What have I ever done to you except try to get you promoted in the Imperial Auxiliary?
Oh, I'd forgotten you're human. I care about you so much. I did not mean you, of course. I have many human friends. This is not racist. But no, just look at these streets. Everything's all square and organized, and there's who puts. I mean, you spend most of your time walking, trying to avoid stepping on, running into rocks. And who had the idea to put rocks on the ground where you have to step on them? That's just. Anyways, I won't get into the whole destroy civilization thing right now. I'll save that, but. Let's just. I don't approve of jail. I'll just leave it at that. Unless if the guy's mean. Is he mean or just a human?
Is he mean or just a human?
As far as I know, he is basically a political prisoner. He's actually done nothing against the Empire.
So
No
translation is just a human.
Not as far as I know.
I don't believe in being punished for talking. So
It's essentially what happened.
seems like a raw deal. I'm interested in this plan. If Petey will go along with it.
Out of character. Sorry about that. I'm back now.
It sounds like your party wants to break a political prisoner out of jail and parade him about as enemy of the state.
I'm not sure I have enough words to describe how wrong that sounds. I'm gonna have to make up some new words.
Omni Megaloth.
Yes, that is super lagifrastic bad. Also, that sounds like a whole lot of effort when we could just be going to crowded places and like shouting.
Filkin will pull out his pan flute that he got in character creation and begin working on a terrible crude melody for our jailbreak theme song. I don't know how to imitate a pan flute.
But come on, I mean, if they agree to let him go into our hands, and I mean that's cool. But I'm not going to break the law for an outlaw. I don't like breaking the law in general.
I didn't suggest you break the law. I just suggested that we use him as a recruiting piece.
Oh, I heard something about breaking him out.
That was not me.
Oh.
That was Filkin's advice.
Yeah. I got a little carried away there. I'll admit, Petey.
Well, I mean, if you want to go ask, I guess we can ask.
But we're gonna make fun of this guy. I don't. Yeah.
No, I would rather just go to big crowded places and just shout and scream and jump and maybe offer some free drinks.
We could also sing that song, singing back there about you, Petey.
You have a good singing voice?
I could make do.
My singing voice only gets good after I have enough drinks.
Vilkin realizes in horror, oh, we got none of the money up front. Oh, I got carried away with, the backflips were just so entertaining. Man, my gnomish ancestors are rolling over in their shallow graves.
Let me ask you, how many military forces do you know that pay people up front?
The gnomish ones, probably. No. Filkin considers everything to be a negotiation, and you always get half of it.
Ket told me that he thought I made my gnomes like the Ferengi from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh my god.
I felt that was kind of racist, but okay.
It's his cat we're talking about, so let's put it in perspective.
That does make me want to add the Ferengi to some campaign at some point, just because they're so good at doing what they do. Alright, so what's the plan here? I can't tell whether the plan is to tell folk stories, sing music, or break some guy out of jail.
Guess is just using the jail person as a suggestion. He's not really being, we should do this about it.
Filking this up.
Yeah, I think...
What do you think?
Well, Filkin liked the idea of getting the guy out of jail, but I hadn't thought it through that once we got him out of jail, we would parade him around, and I just like the idea of rescuing someone who had been locked up for free speech or whatever you want to call it. But if our plan is to get him out of jail and then parade him around and have people throw tomatoes at him, I think that's kind of anti-Filkin.
There would be no tomato throwing.
But I just don't see either way how this turns into people signing up for the Guard.
It's kind of a downer, even mentioning prison involved with the Empire, so maybe we should just be all bubblegum and roses, or all... do we have any Presto left over? We can hand out Presto to people.
We don't need to be all roses. We're going to win. The people have the spirit.
We gave all of that to your colleagues, Falcon.
Not all of it, but okay.
Also, I have to say that the fact that anti-Filkin is a noun now is kind of amazing.
Well, it sounds like Petey, who's clearly the brains and the face and the heart and soul of this operation, wants to motivate the people with his inspirational folk music. I think I'm going to go along with it.
I'm not so good at the music part. When are you guys good at the music part? I can do the rest of it.
I said I have a lovely singing voice. Thank you.
Excellent. And we are ready to get so many people in there, they're going to have to stay open all night.
Where is it that you're going to do this?
This, of course, is
you
an
keep
excellent
talking about
question.
this place. I don't know what the place is.
Okay, so we want a place that has a lot of people who can theoretically sign up for this sort of thing.
The
Didn't
first
Lord Riller
place
have a
that
party?
does come to mind would be the most popular temple in town, the Church of the Sea.
Wait a minute. If we want quality recruits that are going to make us look good, and probably be good for the Empire, didn't Lord Riller say he's going to be hanging out with a bunch of his buddies? Maybe his buddies, they're probably highfalutin people. Maybe we could recruit some of them and
Yeah, but
let's go find Lord Riller's party and just say hi to him.
aren't they all going to be, elves? I mean, I don't want to be impolite or
Uh.
anything, but I don't think they're going to want to hear what we're saying.
Yeah, good point. They're and we need makeup.
They
Yeah.
don't put elves in the guard. Elves get to join the real military.
Oh, talk about that racism.
We have to wear makeup too, and I am against
So wait,
makeup.
I just got this
on
idea.
animals.
Is makeup
They-
also anti-Filkin?
I'm
Wait, wait,
anti-makeup.
Listen.
But is makeup anti-Filkin?
They pay pretty good for this job, right? What was it, 50 a day?
15 a day.
15 a day.
Yes.
Well, that's still way more than most people will ever see. Why don't we go to the poor side of town, where there's a bunch of people who really need the money anyway, and tell them about
bribe-
it?
I could go out and scout out locations as you start in this one area and then go on. Because I am not a particularly public personality like yourselves.
Okay. But I'm just saying, I mean, the poor places, they're usually all crowded together anyway, so you can get a lot of people, and they all probably want the money.
It's a big city, though, so it's certainly a plan you could do. Have someone scout out a large gathering of people at the merchant side of town, and just call you guys in whenever you're finished from your previous engagement.
Sounds like a plan. Is there a reasonably well-known kind of poor-ish side of town plaza?
Yes, it's called the Human District.
Excellent. That sounds like a really good place to start.
Okay.
Filkin was against recruiting the poor to fight the wars for the rich until he found out they were human, and now he has no problem with it.
Okay. All right, so you're going through the tenements of the Human District. We're going to start off with PD, Kyron, and Filkin, and then we'll cut over to Geth looking for the next area. So, there's a gathering of teenaged males and females. It's around lunchtime. They're just hanging out as teenagers do. And it's near a large public park where there are a number of people also hanging out. Some of them have paper bags with bottles inside of them.
Ooh.
What would you guys like to do?
First, preparation. I shall get some chalk and draw some fancy pictures that it's probably not quite so fancy. But they shall be of a small stack of coins and a sword and some armor, and I'm placing them separate from one another.
Okay, so when you do that, a couple of the young males come over, and one of them has some sort of device in his hand, and then he flips it around. It's like a butterfly knife. He's like, "Hey man, why are you encroaching upon our territory, halfling? You trying to draw gang signs on my alleyway?"
Oh, no, nothing like that. This is recruitment. We're offering money. And a good cause.
He's like, "You trying to recruit for your gang?"
Are the guards a gang? Are they a gang? I don't think they're a gang.
Filkin will adjust
So that
the.
sparks off a philosophical discussion between two of the young males. They're like, would you consider the guards to be a gang? I mean, they are somewhat an organized brutish thuggery. And the other one's like, but societally, they're elevated to another status level as they're officially... And the leader is like, shut the fuck up, guys. I'm trying to conduct business here.
Business?
He's like, you are stepping onto the territory of the Yellow Jackets.
So, how much do you guys get paid for being gang members?
Everybody, all the people behind this guy look at each other and they're like, we don't really get paid. And the leader's like, it's not about getting paid, man. It's about the respect for being a Yellow Jacket. He rolls up his sleeve and he's got a tattoo of a yellow jacket, insect on it. He's like, you gotta get cut, man.
Did you know you could get 15 gold pieces a day and get to kill things?
So he's like, holy shit. Where do I sign up?
And so the directions are given.
Okay. Why don't you make some sort of charisma check to convince the rest of the crowd there?
Oh god, charisma checks.
We'll see if you go viral or not.
Can Phil join
Remember,
in, or
you still have your.
I do have that inspiration, yes. I believe Philkin was asking a question.
Well, I was going to ask if I could join in because I'm a charisma guy, but I actually haven't done anything in this scene, so I'm going to just be.
No. You have something you'd like to do to aid him before he makes the roll, and if you assist him, he gets advantage instead of having to spend his inspiration.
Ooh, fancy.
So tell me how you're assisting him.
The joining the auxiliary comes with a uniform, and gentlemen, let me just say that the uniform works like a charm on the ladies, if you know what I mean.
So he's looking you up and down. He's like, "Where's your uniform?"
Oh, I've got my little my pin on the front of my turtle shell helmet, and I'll stiffen up straight and
you put your badge on your helmet.
Oh yeah, the front of it's like a 1-star general, but I'm a turkey general. I've got my turkey on the front of my turtle shell helmet.
What could go wrong?
He's like, hey man, if they let us dress like that when we go out to kill things, I don't really care, man.
I'm just saying, military service helps you with the ladies. You can get paid and you can get, this is a good gig.
One of the guys in the back's like, I'd like to get laid.
I'll make a persuasion roll.
No. It's Petey, and he makes it at advantage.
Please ignore that too.
Oh, 7?
Not that I do much better.
So the rest of the gang is like going up to their gang leader, and they're like, you stepping out, fool? You think just because you get to kill stuff, you're not a yellow jacket anymore? I quit this stupid gang. And everybody else is like, yeah, man, we got better things to do than watch your alley for you. Plus, I'm not getting signed up to go get killed in some elven war.
What? It's not elves, it's kobolds.
Everybody's dispersing, and the one guy's like, which way to the recruiting office, man?
Oh,
I definitely want to kill elves or kobolds.
I
I really like sticking things with my knife, man.
Well, we need people just like you. So just over this way.
Okay, cool. So we cut to Geth, who is apparently going to the local jail. Tell me more, Geth.
Well, in keeping with my stated mission, I'm going to keep an eye out for crowds, and particularly young ones, but not too young, kind of thing.
Okay.
But on the way, I'm also heading to the jail as I do this.
So outside the jail, there's of course 2 or 3 guardsmen, and one of them's wearing the outfits that would indicate he's a wizard, as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees you and touches his wizard hat towards you and says, I am Jaundice the Mauve. He indicates the color of his hat, which is mauve.
And I am Geth Calabra. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I have not seen you around, Geth.
I am
Have you
new.
just come to Hub, or have you not joined the Wizards Guild yet?
I have not joined the guild yet. Please, tell me more about it.
Oh, of course, the guild is where we get our official registration and all of that. They'll also assign you a color. Unfortunately, I got assigned mauve.
What kind of rights and privileges does the guild confer?
He says, here, take this pamphlet.
Okay.
He hands you a pamphlet. It's like, join the Wizards Guild. You can trade spell books with others. Talk about the intellectual superiority of wizards over... So it's like Mensa, right? Where it's like, join us. We're better than everybody else. That's not what Mensa says, but it's like Mensa.
Okay.
It's not Mensa. It's like the really evil version of Mensa.
I'll take the pamphlet and show my gratitude.
Like, the last page of it is just an icon that says, "We're better than you, and we know it."
Oh my God.
It's the Globo Chim recruiting.
What could go
Um,
wrong?
He says, so, Geth, Calabra, what is your business here, young guardsman?
Well, since he's already acknowledged that, I'll tell him that I'm here to see Rhodomus rhododendron V.
He says, what business do you have with that foul traitor?
I'm actually on a recruitment run for the guard, and I would like to interview him and perhaps even take him out of the jail to showcase what happens when you stand against the Empire.
The wizard looks suitably impressed, but the guardsmen around him shift uncomfortably. Could you make some sort of roll to convince the gentlemen around you that this would be a not terrible plan?
A not terrible plan.
Yeah, that could be the title of, if I was to ever release a soundtrack of all the RPGs I've had, it would be called A Not Terrible Plan, and it would just be a listing of every bad plan I've ever heard players come up with.
Since I'm actually explaining my ideology here, could I do a persuasion with intelligence?
Yes,
Sweet.
you're talking to a wizard. I will allow this. You know what? I will give you inspiration for this, because if it goes poorly for you, you're probably going to die.
Awesome. Alright, so that's, what, key pious?
Yes, if you want to spend it immediately, sure.
Yep. KH1.
You're keeping with your stated goals of destroying the establishment.
I like this.
Bah. There we go.
Okay, so you give some spiel real quick, and everyone's like, okay. And Jaundice the mob is like, all right, here's the key to his cell, and just reaches under his cloak and pulls out this key that's got like 7 prongs on it. He's like, make sure to turn it left twice, then right. If you don't do it in that order, it's going to explode, killing you and the prisoner.
Left twice, then right. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you much.
Don't take him out of the handcuffs.
Certainly. And I'll go in and introduce myself.
So you're going into the jail cell area and introducing yourself to Rodimus Rhododendron V?
Yep.
So you go in, and he's like... he's got shackles around his hands and legs, and they're hog-tied together with rope. And then he's also gagged with like bandages stuffed in his mouth, and then one wrapped around to hold them in. He's like, "Arr, arr, arr, jingle, 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 jingle."
I'll insert the key, left twice, then right.
Okay. The door slides open, and you see these runes burst at the edge of the door frame, and then like slowly fade.
I'll escort him out and pull the gag from his mouth.
He's like, "What are you doing with me, guard scum? I know my rights. I'm a lawyer. Let me out of here."
Are there any other guards around?
So probably nobody within immediate hearing range.
Okay.
I mean, there's 2 or 3 other guards, but it's basically just you and him in this hallway.
I'll kind of put my back to the guards that are there, off a little bit, and give them the unity sign.
Okay, you're making the U, and he's like,
Yep.
Oh, excellent, brother. Now we can escape and set the city to flame. Everyone shall rise up. Anarchy.
Be quiet.
Unity.
Be quiet. Shush.
It's like, right. Oh, sorry. You get these chains off of me.
In a moment. I need to take you out of here first. Just
Alright.
act like you're my prisoner.
He says, well, I am currently, shackled, so yeah.
Yes. And I will lead him out.
Okay. And Jonas the mom's like, make sure to have a good time. Bring him back before nightfall.
Certainly.
He's like, if you don't, I do have your badge number here.
Okay.
Don't get lost. In fact, I'd better send one of my boys with you.
Very well.
So he has one of his guardsmen like break away and follow you. So there's only like 2 guys guarding the front door now with Jaundice. And he's like, "My name's Hap, Guardsman Hap. Why don't I take charge of the prisoner for you?"
Very well. You may want to secure his gag again. I had to undo it briefly.
So Rodimus Rodent is like, "No, anything with..." Hap like stuffs the bandages back in there. He's like, "Yep, that one talked quite a bit. Had to gag him."
The caster of some kind? Is that why you had
no,
to gag?
just spewing that Unity bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Anarchist scum.
Is this an elf?
Nope, it's a human.
Human. Okay.
Everyone you've talked to so far in the prison is a human.
I'm going to lag behind a little bit and cast sleep on him.
All right, interesting. So you're just doing it like in the middle of an intersection or something?
Oh, right.
I'm not really sure where because like you're walking down the street looking for places to.
The intent was to kind of go down an alley.
So you're telling him, take a left here at this suspicious-looking alley.
More of an empty alley, but essentially.
Maybe you say something like, "It's a shortcut."
Yes.
Okay. What's the save he's looking to make?
It's not a save.
Sleep doesn't have any save on it?
26 hit points worth of people are put to sleep.
So you put him and Rodimus Rhododendron both to sleep.
Okay. I will...
So there's a loud clattering as he falls forward and Rodimus falls forward. And someone's like, "Hey, you guys okay in there? Need any help, eh?"
Where's that coming from?
It's like someone who just saw you walk into the alleyway and then heard this enormous crash as a guardsman and another guy like fell into a garbage bin.
I guess this is going to be a deception because I can't afford to get caught right now.
We're fine. Everyone's fine. How are you?
I'm basically going to fall to the ground as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ah, boo.
So he runs over and he's like, "Are you okay, buddy?
Oh, I'm fine.
You having a stroke?"
What's wrong with them?
He's like, "I don't know. You tell me. What is wrong with them?"
I don't know. I'll kind of jostle Rodimus.
Rodimus is like,
"Are you okay?"
You could see he's like raising a middle finger to you. So the guy who walked into the alleyway, he's like a good Samaritan. He's wearing like typical Elven Empire clothing, but human. He's like, "Oh, I'll get the other one awake real quick. Give me a second."
Okay. Can I intercept him before he actually does that?
So he's like leaning down to shake the guy awake, and
hopefully before he can actually do that, this is going to be an inflict wounds.
Is there a save on this, or is it just...
It's a touch attack.
Alright, take advantage on this, because he doesn't know it's coming.
Okay.
This escalated quickly.
That's still going to miss, unfortunately.
Damn.
Oh, no, you have advantage, right? Yeah, 12.
Yes.
You'll hit. So his body, withers and rots away. The skeleton stays, and then decomposes into dust, and it just gently floats down on top of the guardsman who's there. And so there's like an outline of a dead person lying over top of him.
Okay.
How people might do a chalk drawing around a dead body? Imagine if it was filled in. Now lay it on top of someone.
I'll kind of brush the edges a little bit and then try to undo his bindings and make haste out of there.
Okay, so you unshackle Rodimus Rhododendron. And you make haste, disappearing into the streets.
I will tell him to let me know where we can meet up later.